Hey, Kevin.
Hello.
Hi, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you as well. Let me check with my team.
Sure. Hi, Ryan.
Hey, Daniil.
How's it going?
Good. Good to see you. We'll have some on our team join. We see we got Kevin here already, and Jayla's about to join. Yeah, we had a different link for some reason, so glad you just sent this one to us.
Awesome. So we
Yeah,
can
how are you
start.
doing?
Yeah, everything is fine. Just a normal Wednesday, you know.
Yeah, totally. That's right.
I
Normal,
saw
busy
your
Wednesday.
video. It's so nice. Incredible.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
I hope it
Hi,
inspired
hi.
you. Hi, Jayla.
Hi, nice meeting you. Hi, I
Yeah,
caught a
good to see
flu,
you too.
yeah, good to see you too.
Where are you now? Why are you in mask?
Oh, Jayla, maybe you're muted.
Yeah, no, sorry, yeah, oh yeah, I had a flu, so I'm sneezing a little bit, so I will just wear a mask for today,
Okay,
if that's
I
okay.
hope you're getting better soon.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. So, are we waiting for more people or?
I think we're already live, so we can start. So yeah, welcome everyone on our AMA session with Orbit, which is Asian focused prediction market. And like prediction market just hit $21 billion in monthly volume. It's almost 1 million active users on prediction market right now. And I believe it's the biggest growing industry in Web3 right now. So here, team of Orbit, I love to see you guys. You were on our demo day and covered a bit your project. So today, I want to dive deeper in what you do, why you actually think you can compete with Polymarket and Kalshi, what is your mode, and yeah, your mic is yours. So please introduce the project. You have around 1 2 minutes, and then we can go dive deeper in the questions.
Wonderful. Thanks, Daniil. Thanks for having us on your demo day and also bringing us back today for an AMA. So I'm joined by Jayla, our co-founder, and Kevin Lynn on our team. And so yeah, I'll do some quick intros. So on my end, I have known Jayla for a couple years through the Web3 VC world. I co-founded Orange DAO as founders of YC-backed companies investing in Web3. We deployed our fund into over 200 startups. And I'll let Jayla introduce herself, and then I'll share about the product. Thanks for bringing us in.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
awesome.
thanks.
Ja-
Yeah,
Jayla,
okay,
please.
cool. Yeah, thanks, Orion, for the quick intro. Yeah, my name is Jayla, co-founder of Orbit. Yeah, I graduated with a math and economics degree from London School of Economics. And following that, I worked in traditional finance. I was in Goldman Sachs and BNP Paribas, fixed income trading. And afterwards, I did a MBA degree at Oxford University, following which I started working in the Web3 space, and also more so in the entrepreneurial ventures. Prior to co-founding Orbit, I worked in Huobi and another Web3 VC, which I got to know Orion through some of the co-investment opportunities. Yeah, thanks for having us today. Yeah, and it's great to be able to speak to you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, cool. I love your way. So, like, you started in traditional finance. Like, why you did to move in crypto and in Web3 world? So, how was that switch?
Yeah, sure. Well, actually, our prediction market, which is driven by DLMM, dynamic liquidity market maker, liquidity protocol, and well, at the heart of it, it's still a trading product. So, like any trading product, it's about the liquidity, it's about trading speed, it's about asset availability. So for our case, yeah, sorry, yeah. So for our case, that would be the events that people want to trade at. Yeah. So for yeah, sorry, I can see Daniel is speaking.
Looks like you have really bad internet connection today.
Oh, I'm sorry. Uh, I'm sorry. Am I? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm using a VPN right now. Because I'm traveling. I'm sorry. Am I supposed to mute myself?
Yeah, no worries. So let me like ask a question to you guys. So first of all, we see that like there are two of those leaders on prediction market space. They are Polymarket and Kalshi. Kalshi has a strong differentiator on the United States, and Polymarket is a more global player. We see also different fun. I think the third place right now, but I drastically lose volumes. Like the difference between Polymarket and Kalshi and Predict Fun is really high. It's something like 20 times or 30 times. And like all these volumes on Kalshi and Polymarket, in your opinion, where are they from? Because around half of all crypto wallets are in Asia. And you mentioned that Asian markets are not covered well, and you have the gap that you want to fill with your product. So what is that gap about? And why do you think that Asian markets are not covered by leaders right now?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we got involved in building Orbit because we saw an opportunity there and a need in the market, right? So we're degens and love participating in the markets and creating them. And really there's a missing gap where, as you say, half of all Web3 wallets are in Asia. But the markets on Polymarket and Kalshi, what we saw is there are um, three major problems. Jayla has already mentioned liquidity. And so we've built our solution to bring that liquidity from the beginning through liquidity providers and a DLMM mechanism, which is a type of automatic market maker, and it uses specific flat bands in each price range. So it turns the demand curve into a step function. And that makes it much easier for users to get in and out of trades. So we're really optimizing for liquidity and the user experience of trading and encouraging that trade. It's an important retention mechanism. So the technology that we're using is to address challenges in the existing markets, which is Kalshi and Polymarket. And then we're also just focused on generating more markets for Asia. So we're a very AI native platform, and AI is used in a lot of ways. On the front end, it is for detecting things that are interesting that people would want to predict about, right? And Polymarket and Kalshi are primarily Western focused, right? There are some global variables that are very popular anywhere, such as the price of gold, potentially the price of oil, right? But those are specific kind of institutional things as well. Not everybody cares about that. Particularly young people might care more about what's their next favorite K-pop song or other song, or what's going to happen in a movie, when are they going to release a movie. So cultural and social aspects, right? And then when you look at Polymarket and Kalshi, even the markets for these social aspects are particularly Western, right? So there's a lot of political betting in the US that's popular. In Asia, that's not as popular, right? And there's reasons for that. It's just not how people want to spend their time or expose themselves politically. And so as key growth drivers, then you have sports instead, and social and cultural elements, right? And so that's a shift, but it's also like making sure that we have markets that are local to each country, right? And so there can be regional and multinational focus, such as the weather in Asia, we believe can be big markets. Um, and all of these can ultimately generate
Yeah,
data too. Yeah, go ahead, Jayla.
yeah. Thanks, Orion. Yeah. So, sorry. Yeah. My VPN is not yeah. So working so well. So yeah. So I turn off the camera. So yes. Yeah. There is like cultural differences, and yeah. So Polymarket and Kalshi are largely US audience based, and there are differences between the preference, between the different user base. And Orion, do you want to share the appendix screen, on, yeah, on the event comparison? Yeah. So actually, before I switch device, Daniel was, you asked me a question about, traditional finance versus DeFi prediction market product. So from my view is that it's like any trading product. So prediction market is a type of a trading product, and it's about trading speed. It's about liquidity that we are able to offer to the traders, and it's also about asset availability. So in our case, that will be event availability. So sharing on the screen is the difference, comparison between different channels, in terms of US user versus Asian users. So for instance, in crypto channel, the Asian users has a lot of interest around Binance listing, Binance perp listing, Binance spot listing, and there has been a lot of such discussions on Binance Square as well. And with the AI social intelligence engine that we created, we are able to monitor trending topics on such social media platforms and be able to launch those events at very early stage. Yeah, and also we quoted an example of ALT token listed onto Upbit as well. So there's also a lot of interest around Korean exchange listing. And in comparison to that, so Polymarket, tend to list more of a larger cap major token. So I would say around 70 to 80% of the event on Polymarket runs around like Bitcoin, Ethereum, the larger cap tokens. Orion, do you mind switching back to the oh
Yeah.
um
So yeah, let me sum up. The main idea is that it's more cultural aspect, first of all, and many events that are really important in Asia are ignored by major players. But why do you think so? Like, is Asia being ignored, or is it there any other reason that nobody's corrected yet? Because all major platforms now are fighting on the US market, and we see also new players are coming. Robinhood, interactive brokers from TradFi, Coinbase partnered with Kalshi. So yeah, it looks like US market is a sweet pie. But what about Asia, in your opinion?
Yeah, so this is where definitely competitive dynamics come into play. And, you mentioned like the scale of Polymarket and Kalshi being much larger than some others. And frankly, they're too large to effectively tackle Asia independently and have a differentiated strategy for it. So that's really where our opportunity comes in. Um, as the regulatory environment throughout the world evolves, at the time, these companies started quite a while ago. That's one of the answers of why they are so big. And over time, we believe we can be as well. They started a long time ago, and at that time, the US had a more favorable regulatory environment. We definitely have a second mover advantage in several ways. More the legal and regulatory has evolved in terms of how decentralized organizations can create opportunities. Um, and so basically they're too big now to then switch over to Asia and have a differentiated strategy. So Kalshi, for example, did announce they're working on opening up 140 countries. So that shows the demand that they have, but it's still going to be selling the same markets and not focused on each individual country, whether that's Indonesia, Thailand. And so one of our competitive advantages, it's always important to build where you have a distinct advantage, and we have our own internal network of KOLs and KOCs across Asia that can help us roll out in Indonesia, Taiwan, Thailand, ultimately moving up to Korea and 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 Japan. So, um, and that slide is right here. Um,
mm,
so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my
yeah.
that's my answer about it.
the interesting point you mentioned about regulations. So Singapore banned Polymarket. Thailand is also proposing bans. Taiwan already blocked them. China, like, is out, of course. So how do you build a prediction market in a region that actively banning prediction markets?
Yeah, so yeah, I'll take this one. Yeah, so we built Orbit as a DeFi native protocol with a clear roadmap towards fully decentralization. And this architecture is intentional. And as our protocol becomes increasingly non-custodial and more fully on-chain, it moves outside the scope of TradFi regulation and hence reducing regulatory exposure over time. And also, secondly, Asia currently actually lacks a unified framework for prediction market as a financial derivatives, or to be regulated as a online gaming product. So there hasn't been too much certainty on that, and this is for something. This is something for the regulators to clarify over time. And this creates operational ambiguity that comparable platforms are currently navigating without without significant enforcement action in other jurisdictions in Asia, actually. So what we are doing is that we are adopting a phased compliance approach. So yeah, as you mentioned, Taiwan and Thailand are classified as close-out action by Polymarket, and we actually have secured a formal legal opinion letter for these higher risk markets, as you mentioned, Taiwan and Thailand. Where the other jurisdictions that we haven't seen, a significant enforcement action going on, we will, it will be kind of less of an urgency, and will take a more gradual and phased approach to the compliance strategy on our side. And also on the other hand, for the US, we are geo-blocking US retail markets at the moment, and but we do have a intent to tap into institutional capital as LP provider, as we have the DLMM approach, which we do, which we do seek DeFi LPs and other profiles of LP capital to tap into and provide liquidity for our prediction market. And based on our conversation with lawyers with over a decade of experience working in legal counsel of CFTC, we do have a strategy to apply and attempt to obtain the DeFi innovation exemption from CFTC.
Okay, so actually you want to go through that regulation process in changing your position in the DeFi protocol because of LP structure that you have, if I understand correctly. But does it help? Because also the idea of prediction market is still prediction market, though whatever you use inside of it.
Yeah, you mean where? Yeah, Orion, would you like to take it?
Yeah, I think these are some things that we're actively figuring out. And so our roadmap starts with countries where we think there's lower risk, and then there's opportunities that we're working with each country individually. So yeah, the regulatory plan also becomes part of the differentiated opportunity, where we will end up working with each one separately. And so, for example, on the physical mode part of this slide mentions lottery shop and social pub partnerships. And that's an example where there may be government and first class partnerships as well available there. So there have been signals from the market of openness for governments to partner with third parties to implement some of this, and so we're taking a very proactive pro collaboration stance with these local governments, and whether it's government or private run.
And physical mall sounds really impressive, but how does that actually work? Who owns this? What's the deal structure? And yeah, I heard that the Polymarket launched something similar in the US. So I'm really curious, how do you see that?
Yeah, so we've mapped it out across different countries and identifying which ones have. A lottery shop is where you can buy lottery tickets. Some of them do have additional either sports betting or other types of opportunities for wagering. This has become very popular with the age group from 20s to mid 30s. So there's a strong youth demographic there. Well, maybe youth isn't the right word, but younger
it's really impressive. I think, especially considering current trend on, real emotions and real world activities, it can be interesting idea, especially in Asia, on some markets like South Korea, for example. But I have also another question about your AI social intelligence engine that finds trending on social media. And what does it actually mean? What languages does it parse? What platforms? And how does it create like market?
Yeah, so definitely being implemented in the local different languages is a key advantage. And so, for example, plugging into different social media of Asia, right? So in the US, there's Reddit, obviously can be used globally, but there's a lot of specific ones, whether it's Line at a very large scale, but also smaller scale, localized social media, right? And these could be platform specific that are targeted on, groups to talk about movies, groups to talk about sports, talk about race cars, um, K-pop, J-pop, and so forth. And so the AI scanning these social media to be able to generate markets as early as possible while there's a lot of excitement and unknown information about them. And so that's when the real alpha is. And we don't just open up these markets at a 50-50 probability. Usually there's a built-in um, odds that are given. And so this is something that the LPs can participate in to increase their yield by improving the estimation. So that's kind of everything we're talking about right now is kind of under step one on the slide of the AI scanning and pulling from social media and being able to detect trending topics early, from basically any category to be able to jump on those and capitalize when things are really happening.
Mhm. And how do you prevent manipulation here? If the AI creates markets from social media trends, what stops someone from manufacturing a fake trend, let's say, creating a market and betting on the outcomes they can control?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Um, Yeah, there are certainly rules around like established norms and best practices for the prediction markets in the US. And part of that is you want to generate markets that are, have a defined outcome that is verifiable by an oracle, right? And so there is, a need to um, not create markets that can't be verified in the end or that are subject to too much manipulation, right? Now, insider trading happens, but it is part of our platform to help users stay safe from that. There is a human backstop is a big part of the answer, right? The AI isn't just generating all to 20,000 USDT as well in a tiered structure. That's the second phase on the slide. Human backstop,
Mhm.
and we do, stay cognizant about what type of markets are being created because you need to be able to verify them in the end that yes, it was a yes or a no or one of multiple outcomes.
I see. That's interesting. And give me a scenario where your AI creates markets that Polymarket and Kalshi would never create. Something locally specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
yes, yeah, so for
go ahead.
instance, what's the total traffic during Lunar Chinese New Year in China? And uh I would say if so and so token gets launched onto Binance Perp or Binance Alpha, what would the FDV be? And what's the chances of a meme token, uh,
decreasing or dropping 30% by FDV in the next month, for instance. Yeah, and also certain localized sports. So for instance, certain countries, like for instance, soccer in China or localized sports, F1 in the region of Southeast Asia, and also even like competition outcomes between like eating competitions between some very local influencers on TikTok. Yeah, those would be that would be like the entertainment channel. Yeah, but the example I gave covers lifestyle, crypto, and also entertainment channels in the space. Yeah. So right now the AI scan we we are actively scanning on Twitter. We do want to expand that into local social networking apps such as Line and Zalo for the case of Vietnam, and also like Binance Square and other highly active social media platforms locally. Yeah, and we run multilingual on our platform. So we support local language like yeah, and for Vietnam, Philippines, Malaysia, we also support localized payment methods as well. So in some of the physical mode that you mentioned about, people can just scan the QR code and then they can use fiat to swap into USDT and participate into our event quickly. So yeah, those would be the differences between us and the incumbents.
Yeah, I see. I'm like really curious about Lunar New Year. Is it important outside the China? I'm not familiar with Asia. Like, how is it influence other countries? Because if we talk about China, China is banned on prediction markets. So other market, are they interested in it or not? Or not?
Yeah, we aren't. I think China obviously contributes to a large user base, to a lot of crypto products, from OKX, Binance, and others. And obviously, I think it's we couldn't do like a large scale offline marketing event because of the regulatory challenges there. However, there are many like Chinese KOLs on Twitter and so which you've seen them actively kind of marketing some of the prediction market events yeah as well. But in terms of like Lunar New Year, I think culturally it's deeply rooted in several parts of Asia. I think Vietnam is people do celebrate Chinese New Year, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau as well. Yeah, and so it's a major cultural event in several parts of Asia, I would say.
Okay, that's cool. And going back to your revenue model, so as am I right that you charge 1.5% swap fee, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So as I know, Polymarket charge less, Kalshi also charge less, and in race to zero fees. How do you survive?
Well, no, actually, Polymarket has just updated their fee structure, and right now they charges on a curved fee structure ranging from 0 to 1.8%, uh, depending on which channel that event is. So I think po politics or sports is actually the highest in the chart. They take a curved approach because they charge a higher fee, around 0.5% probability. Well, actually, from the trading results of what we are seeing in poly markets, uh, yeah, I just have that data on my hand. So give me one. Yeah, so after this new fee adoption, actually Polymarket has been slowly increasing the channels that they are pushing out the trading fee policy started beginning of the year. So it started with some very short duration crypto events, and now they are actually adopting it across economics, sports, politics, and one other channel as well. So it's kind of like a platform-wide policy now. So even after the wide adoption of trading fee, we are seeing that in the past 30 days, Polymarket has a $25 million trading volume. So well, I think what it shows to us is that the fees are not having a large impact in terms of discouraging users. Yeah, and so that's that's our take from it. And ultimately, people, traders who place a bet, who place directional bets on it, uh, you know, um, they are betting on the final outcome. And if you are just taking less than 2% fee, I don't think it would make too much a difference to their trading behavior.
Mhm.
And yeah.
And have you started after Polymarket introduced fees? What happened to volume and retention?
I don't think there's a huge impact on you know I can yeah, from based on our observation, we can share more with a more detailed analysis. Yeah, I've sent a screenshot of on DeFi Llama on the trading volume of poly markets, past 7 days, past 30 days, and also uh, the total value locked as well. So from our take of it, for fees below 2%, it doesn't make that much a difference to the traders' behavior. Because ultimately they are banking on, they getting the outcome right, right? So yeah. And I just look up on Polymarket fee page as well. Actually, the highest fee is on a crypto channel. Yeah, followed by economics channel, economics, culture, weather channel, and then the third category is finance, politics, and tech. Whereas their lowest fee structure is on sports channel. I've shared a link onto the chat here as well. So yeah.
That's interesting because all markets that you mentioned, like from high to low fee, basically is traded by bots mostly. Because I see a lot of content on cryptos and based on financial stuff, weather stuff, and less on politics. maybe they are more like directional and clear, like clear opinion style market, I can say, because all others are just full of arbitrage bots that try to compete to each other with speed and better quality of strategy. So I can like only imagine that most of fees are generated on Polymarket, generated by algo strategies that works perfectly on crypto. And here, like on crypto financial markets, and here I think introducing fees is a big problem, because for algo strategies, fees are the most liquidity and second fees. So Polymarket now have a lot of trading volume because of liquidity. You cannot launch that strategies on, let's say, opinion or predict fund just because of lack of liquidity. But after traditional financial companies jump in this play, like Robinhood, Interactive Brokers, Coinbase, etc., I think we will see a huge reduction of fees on different platforms. So yeah, that's why I'm curious. Do you have any other like revenue models except swap fee?
Yeah, so I mean that is the primary, and I think Jayla's take is spot on that we don't see a lot of effect below 2%. We see Polymarket charging some higher fees on different ones, except for their loss leaders like geopolitics. But yeah, these other two boxes on this slide show potential revenues as well. So these are more emerging. But at an early stage, everything we do is experiment driven. So data market analytics um, can be basically this describes generating data from Asian specific markets that consumer companies may want to know about the users, right? So consensus on how much people like a new album or a new movie, um, and even just the quantity data of like, well, how is the response rate trending for interest in F1 or a certain cricket league or something. And then opportunity markets describe a novel DeFi mechanism where it's helping businesses identify opportunities, again, such as a new rising music star that the opportunity is to sign them to a record label, right? And by hosting a forum, a series of markets on emerging talent, then we can be a platform for uh, record company discovery, for example, right? And this is where the liquidity provider, so the record company may be a liquidity provider to capitalize on this opportunity, because then they're getting the data first before other people. So those are potential revenue streams.
And also I would like to mention that well, the trading fee is only part of a trader's consideration. So like any other trading product, I think there's trading speed, and also there's liquidity that the market is able to offer. And also on top of that, there's asset availability as well. So for instance, you can only trade this asset on our platform. Then I mean, whether we charge 2% or 3%, you still need to trade here, right? So yeah, and also we are also building and planning to roll out our SDK and API as well, to tap into besides our main site, the Orbit website, which is B2C by nature. And we are also going to roll out our SDK for other developers in other ecosystems, like Line, Zalo, TikTok, or Telegram, and they can just tap into our infrastructure and create a mini app in a different social media or social networking app. And they can easily launch a event, tapping into the liquidity infrastructure, tapping into the Oracle infrastructure, tapping into the fiat on-ramp infrastructure that we have already built. And they can even, list funky events like, who eats more burger on TikTok, and because of some eating competition going on. So, so those that will be the B2B to C side of user acquisition. And actually, at a fee rate at about 1.5%, if we actually, compare it to other platform, like you mentioned, Polymarket, and also there are smaller platform like Limitless, Myrier, and a few others as well. I think we do still remain quite competitive. Still, yeah, in the space, and we do want to list interesting events, good events that people want to trade on, and provide liquidity early and extremely fast, at on our multilingual platform. Yeah.
Yeah, that really makes sense. And for me, the more interesting part is the SDK and data lawyer. So if other apps can use your infrastructure, that would be nice and prevent fragmentation of liquidity. It will consolidate liquidity around your infrastructure, even like using different like front end side. Okay, that sounds really is a big opportunity for you. And one more thing I would like to discuss today, of course, it's the World Cup is in June. Of course, every prediction market on the planet will be competing for those eyeballs. But you're targeting Asian sport fans and not American ones, so and European ones. Like, is the World Cup important for you? Or
Yeah, so World Cup, yeah, it's a end of Q2, early Q3 event. Yeah, so we would be organizing a major public testnet events. And yeah, and also I would say that World Cup, is a kind of event that I would say traditional Web2 players and other online gaming products are pretty saturated on. So yeah, it would be a major marketing opportunity for us. But we don't expect that to probably contribute too much revenue to us by then. Uh, yeah, we are, also ramping up on the security side of our smart contracts and having it audited. We actually think maybe F1 event in Q3 would be, kind of like a more targeted marketing opportunity to us.
Okay, and you mentioned already a lot of events like social media events, like culture events, but what kind of sport is the most important in Asia?
Oh, well, yeah, so they are, it's quite country specific. Yeah, I think India is massive on cricket, and there are varying degree of passion towards soccer, based on our conversation with country managers. So, for instance, the Philippines might tell us that so World Cup is probably not so people are not so passionate about. And probably F1 is having more and more popularity in Philippines. And and also like for other parts of the world, I think Chinese audience have a lot of passion in the sports, and there tends to be a lot of participation around on in terms of like betting on the outcome of soccer. So I think there's a varying degree of passion in the region.
Mhm.
Yeah, and yeah, so we do want to support very localized sports events, and also being able to tap into our KOL and KOC network to engage the audience in the region, and to have them place bets on our platform. Yeah, I think ultimately, it's about liquidity, and it's about who leads those event faster, sooner, and works closer with the KOL, KOCs, and to have a better conversion rate, on the back of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, we have good experience of going to market in the region. Our COO has worked on go-to-market for the world's number three DEX, Aiden, before, and other CX products as well, like CoinW and Wix as well. So we have good experience of going to market in the region, and now we want to do it for Orbit as a prediction market. Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you that like speed and network of QLs is important here. Also, I like when I listened about how your AI analyze different threads about what's going on thread and trending right now. I think it would be nice if you also have some kind of AI network that in the relevant topic can highlight that, okay, guys, you have hot discussions here, but you can earn some money on your predictions here, and put the link, like to actively promote and show people that
Orbit.
opportunity that, yeah, or that they can join the platform and not only like put their mind on the internet, but also make some money on that if they like have the strong vision and idea. I think it can work as well. Okay, so one simple question. What does success look like 6 months after, like in 6 months? So today is April, in October. Give me three metrics, users, volume, and LP returns.
The question was a lot easier before the last very addition part there. So uh, yeah, I think I probably have to hand it to Jayla for specifics on numbers. But I know that we're, yeah, switching, as she said, from testnet to mainnet, and then I believe she's got some estimates. I don't know if we can disclose all of those, like LP returns, but we can talk about the structures of it.
E- Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. So 6 months from now, probably. Yeah, we would have closed our seed round of fundraising, of 5 million by then, and in terms of LP capital that's committed onto our platform, we would probably have roll out our native vault by then. Probably initial phase of onboarding some of the LPs that has signed our LOIs before. Yeah, we've signed altogether 15 LOIs. with quite significant capital committed on the back of it. So I think probably 6 months from now, we would have 3 to 5 million LP capital committed to our native vault. And those capital will be allocated to, providing liquidity on events that's listed through Orbit. And in terms of trading volume, yeah, we are aiming to hit around 100 million by end of the year. And yeah, it may be quite ambitious. Yeah, and yeah, so that's what we are aiming for by end of the year. But it's yeah, probably not 6 months from now, but yeah. And also in terms of regulatory front, we would probably have a meeting with CFTC by then, and also, legal opinions in, most of the tier one, tier two countries that we operate in. Yeah, and we'll be poised for the next round, which is Series A fundraising as well.
Okay, sounds ambitious, but I hope you can do it. One sentence. Why will you win?
So I believe we're
Sorry?
going to win. I'll jump in that I believe we're going to win because we have a unique differentiated strategy for each Asian country that no one else has. And by really creating the things that people want to bet on, that's how we can win. I'll stop there because you said one sentence instead of I could keep talking.
Yeah, awesome. What is the biggest risk you see?
Think about
Biggest
that.
security risk. We
Mm.
we operate fully on chain, and yeah, and we also have ambition to make our entire product more and more decentralized. So well, internally we are also having this AI testing and swarms of AI to exploit our contract, and if they find any problems, we fix the bug on our smart contract. Yeah, and also we are having at least two auditing firms to audit our smart contract. So we do hope by the time it comes to mainnet, our smart contract is extremely secure. So yeah.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair enough, especially considering that news from Anthropic and the last model they decided don't make public available.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really wild. So if you could steal one feature from Polymarket, what would it be?
I would just say probably the easy user interface of making the bets. We optimize more for the liquidity mechanics to actually make the trades go through. But and we can steal it, frankly, right? This is front end design. I mean,
Mhm.
it's basically open source at that point because not open source, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean. Programming is a solved problem. So yeah, so there is a nice front end, but we're solving for liquidity on the back end, and we would, we can leverage their learnings from how to make an easy interface.
Okay, yeah, that's fair, but still, I think that polymarket interface is far from ideal, especially if you're not a crypto
Mm.
user. Oh my God, it's so bad.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
we are in crypto. So, will you launch a token? Do you have such plans? And if yes, why should anyone care about it?
Yeah, actually we don't have a kind of like a near-term a plan to rush to launch a token. We've seen that for the case of Opinion and Limitless. Well, I think given the liquidity kind of correction in altcoin, there isn't so much liquidity offer to the altcoin. So I would say, what it would hurt the user the most is a premature listing of token. Yeah, and well, we're also still designing mechanics and mechanisms of our governance token. And so right now we are accepting checks on the back of Safe plus token warrant, but the token warrant is really just an option if we want to tap into it in the future. So right now, we want to build the product thoroughly, and we don't have any intention to list the token prematurely. And once we build a strong enough product, capitalization is a knock-on effect to it. Yeah, actually, one of our co-founders, Seth, who is a technical co-founder, who built a staked US before, which was sold at $600 million dollar valuation to Kraken, in year 2021. So I think ultimately, so that is an exit through M&A. It's actually one of the biggest acquisition from Kraken. So once you build a meaningful and enough product, then how you capitalize it through M&A, IPO, or token, like it would all be extremely successful. So so that's a secondary probably issue for us to consider right now.
Yeah, I believe the token is the worst option for capitalizing and exit. I have a lot of content about it on my LinkedIn, but yeah. So I think I asked all questions from my side, but we also have questions from the community side. So what is the Asian market potential value?
Potential.
Yeah. It's asking about the scale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So population wise, it's 14 times larger than the US and concentrates half of all the wallets, Web3 wallets in the world, is one significant answer. And then if we look at the historical wallets on Polymarket and Kalshi versus potential user base of population there, we see extreme opportunities for growth.
That's awesome. So hopefully we answered this question. I think yes. Okay, cool. I thank you for today's insightful conversation. You covered a lot of things, and like I personally believe that Asian market has a huge potential, but of course we see different risks, especially like in my opinion, the biggest risk now is regulation risk because many markets trying to ban prediction markets. But overall, yeah, I hope you guys can succeed. Maybe you want to add something.
Yeah, really just appreciate you guys bringing us on here. We're excited to share about Orbit, and soon we'll have our public test net starting. So we're excited to let people know how to see it. You can follow us on Twitter and interact with us there. And Jayla and I are available as well for you to if folks want to connect. Thanks a lot.
What is the best channel to reach out to you?
Jayla, what do
Yeah.
you say? Is it Telegram or what do you prefer?
Yeah, so I will leave my Telegram handle at Jayla555 in here. So if anyone is interested to get in touch with our team, be it go-to-market partnerships or fundraising opportunities, please do get in touch with us.
Okay, thanks. So we will also put it in the comments under our recording on X. Anyway, you can follow us on X, follow guys on X as well, and ask any questions in the comments. It's also the easiest way. We will read everything and we can address it to the team directly. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching us, for listening to us today. Thanks Orbit team once again for joining us. I wish you success and let us know when we will launch your testnet, public testnet. So I think we will be one of the first users.
Wonderful.
Cool.
Thanks a lot, Daniil.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
You
Have a
too.
good one.
Cheers. Bye.